My dear students and learners, and successfully we have completed the first unit, and now we are in the about in the middle of third unit. And of course, after come across so many fundamentals and measuring techniques for properties of steam, now in the last two videos we have been studying about what is dryness fraction of steam and how it has been measured, either using by formula or by using the device calorimeter. Okay, so in the last video I told about the importance and the working principle of throttling calorimeter. Okay, now in this video also we will continue some more calorimeter types and their working principles. So here you are seeing the slide which shows the line diagram of separating and throttling calorimeter. Okay, so you know very well that how throttling calorimeter was working. It is nothing but during the throttling device, when the steam was passing through, the pressure reduces, temperature reduces, along with the constant maintenance of enthalpy as well increase in dryness fraction of the steam. That is, when you are supplying the wet steam, it will be converted either to dry saturated or to superheated steam, right? So now this is the same concept which is going to be used in this separating and throttling calorimeter also, but one more updated version or another one more process involved is separation. What is separation? What is our input? Input is nothing but the mixture of liquid water and gaseous water vapor, right? So when you are supplying the wet steam in the during the first initial stages of this separating and throttling calorimeter, for first the separation of water vapor and the liquid takes place in the separating process, and then again next it would be passed through the throttling device, and further measurement of its pressure and temperature and the cooling process would be same as what we have studied in throttling calorimeter. Let me explain one by one how it is working. So from the main point of the steam, that is after it has been produced in the boiler, the steam is entering into this sampling tube along with the transverse tubes, and first let it be entering into the separating calorimeter. What happens here is, due to the inertia of the liquid, here the wet steam is made to pass away or come across the reverse direction passes. When it is moving suddenly to reverse its direction, water is coming because of the higher inertia, water is coming down, okay, and then the gases are going away above the separating calorimeter, and it is made to pass through the throttling device. Okay, so when the wet steam is entering into this separating calorimeter, due to the inertia, when the movement of the steam made to move in the reverse direction, the water is flowing down, and the gaseous phase of the steam is moving along the throttling device, and here its pressure reduces, temperature reduces, dryness fraction is increases, keeping the enthalpy as constant. It is further entering to measure its pressure and temperature to the manometer, and further its conversion is going for condenser. Okay, right? So of course we have received without any loss of heat content or enthalpy or the energy of the that is substance. Now we have measured the and got the improved quality of the steam by this throttling, separating and throttling calorimeter. Okay, and now here it is the description for electrical calorimeter. Let me explain here. The steam is made to flow through the sampling tubes along with the transverse devices, and it is passing through the electrical heater where its temperature is rising, and of course here what happens is the electrical energy input Q is given should be sufficient to take the steam to the superheated region. There we are getting the phase change by throttling process. Here we are making the energy transfer or the phase change from wet steam to superheated region by the electrical supply. Okay, so by the electrical that is heater, the wet steam is made to heat further to increase to superheated steam, and then it the exhaust steam's quality and pressure is being measured. Okay, so let me recollect the various topics which we have covered in the third unit. The third unit means properties of pure substances. Pure substances means many substances are available. Those who are that is existing in one or more phases, but still they have the very uniformly distributed chemical composition, even though their physical appearance is not uniform. Okay, and then especially out of other pure substances like refrigerants which we are using in various refrigerations, water, ammonia, and freon 21, freon 22, freon 12, freon 11, so many pure substances. Here in this course you are concentrating only water, since water is the main source for getting the steam, which is used as a working substance in most of the thermal engineering devices. Then steam forming processes which we have undergone is about boiling type. What is the difference between boiling, evaporation, vaporization when you are having the lid, and which you don't have the lid, means what would be the difference, and what is the peculiar character of water, means when it has been converted from solid, that is ice, to water, its volume reduces, which is not happens in other pure substances till it reaches 4 degrees Celsius. Continuously its volume is getting reduced during the phase change, and of course it was clearly shown in all the coordinates PV, PT, PTV diagram, which changed the coordinate diagram specifically for water than other pure substances. And after drawing the PV coordinate for various pressures, by we have drawn the PV coordinate, PT coordinate, and PVT surface coordinate. These plots were used to get so many terminologies like what is triple point, what is critical point, how we got the vapor dome, and what is the various regimes present, that is the phases, phase occupation with in these coordinates was differentiated in a very well understood manner by using that vapor dome. That is where the solid phase would be present, liquid phase, liquid and vapor phase, solid and vapor phase, what is critical point, above that point what happens, below that point what happens, below triple point what happens, when the steam was heated, how it was it was crossing the varieties of processes, and during that processes how the temperature and pressures whether increasing, decreasing or maintained constantly when the latent heat is occurring, when the sensible heat is taken to account, everything was discussed in a very detailed manner, right? And you should know, important thing is you should know what is saturation temperature and saturation point, which would be very useful for you while taking the values from the steam tables and evaluate the various properties. And after completion of this PV, PT and PVT, all the diagrams, we came to important two more plots of TS and HS coordinate, which tells about exactly what is the heat transferred during these processes, and HS diagram tells the enthalpy content with respect to entropy, and as well as these charts and plots have shown many constant property lines in it, which was used to find out the other properties if we know two independent properties are known to us. Hmm. And then next we are coming to very important topic of measurement of dryness fraction. This is very important thing, because when you are taking the steam, how much amount of water is present in it, whether it is dry saturated, superheated or wet steam, how much wetness is present should be known to us, because this is the root and cause for measurement of all other properties like entropy, enthalpy, internal energy, specific volume, by knowing the pressure and the saturation temperature, or temperature and the saturation pressure of that particular steam. Okay, by using the calorimeter, we can able to measure the dryness fraction of the steam, in which we are using the throttling process as a fundamental for measuring the dryness fraction, since this particular process is used not only to measure the same outcoming steam, but also it is improving the quality of the steam by increasing its dryness fraction towards either dry saturated or superheated steam, right? Now I hope that I have come to the end of the middle of the third unit. Let me continue in very spectacular and very interesting topic of vapor power cycles from next video onwards. Thanks for patient listening. Please recall and yes, explore whatever the topics which were covered till this video. And then we will solve the problems after completing the theory part. Okay, I am now signing off. Thanks for your cooperation. Happy learning. Be happy. Stay safe. Stay home. Prepare your subject. Enrich your knowledge. And recollect the things from all the subjects by frequently or intermittent preparation. Okay. I am signing off. Dr. Suja from Tandai Periya Government Institute of Technology. Thank you.